All right, we should be live on Twitter. Welcome to Gamcast. A little early today. We are here to talk about the Project 2025 hoax. We're going to break it down, tell you what it is, and we're also going to tell you whether it is true or not that it's Trump's agenda. But let's start off with the delusional folks on MSNBC. Here's Joyless Reed, and she's going to tell you what the left and Kamala are telling you about Project 2025. Here we go.
Donald Trump still really wants you to believe that he has nothing to do with Project 2025, the right-wing manifesto for his second presidency. But take a look at this.
Now, folks, again, there is a Agenda 47. There's also the GOP 2024 platform, which was just adopted at their convention a few weeks ago. So why she's doing this, I don't know. But let's hear out her evidence, folks. I mean, she is joyless and it is insufferable, but we have to do it. So she shows here the person that is at the Heritage Foundation. And we all know, we all agree, Project 2025 is a Heritage Foundation project that started about 2 years ago. A little while ago, they dropped a 920-page manifesto that no one's read. And so her point here is that, oh my God, a couple of years ago, he was on a plane with a guy who also wrote it. Shocking. You mean two Republicans happened to go to a similar event and somebody spoke, and therefore it's his agenda? But let's hear it.
Is Donald Trump on a private plane in April 2022 with Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation, the organization behind Project 2025. They were traveling together to a heritage conference where Trump spoke.
So Trump spoke at a heritage. If we didn't laugh, folks, we'd have to cry. It's so idiotic. I mean, you were pictured with somebody 2 years ago, way before your Agenda 47, before you even announced you were running for election, before your GOP convention, but you sat on it and you went and got on a plane and spoke at the same place. Therefore, that's your agenda. It's absurdity. But why do they have to do this, folks? Well, they have to do it. Here's Kamala Harris, and you can see here, KamalaHarris.com. So this is her. What is Project 2025 agenda? Well, I don't know. It's something the Heritage Foundation did. It's about 900 pages. Nobody's read it. You hadn't read it. Anybody read it? Donald Trump's plans for a full government takeover has been exposed. Well, that's weird. His Project 25 agenda would strip away your freedom. Well, let's go to the actual Project 2025 and see what they say they're going to do. Secure the border. That sounds fine. De-weaponize the federal government by increasing accountability. That sounds okay. Unleash American energy production to reduce energy prices. Sounds good to me. Cut the growth of federal spending. Make federal agencies more accountable. Improve education. Ban biological males from competing in women's sports. Gosh, that doesn't seem like what she described it. And if you go to the Heritage Foundation, you'll see it was started by the gentleman you saw there earlier in around January, or I think it was actually in 2022. This article maybe describing it came out. But with the Biden administration half over and with the immediate dangers inherent to one-party rule in Washington behind us now, it's past time to lay the groundwork. So this is the Heritage Foundation say, here's what we think we ought to do to combat Biden. Okay, well, what does Trump decide? Well, Trump decides to run for president after they started Project 2025, after they dropped the huge manifesto, and here's his Agenda 47. And if you scroll through these and read all of these, and I don't have time to do this because we're going to keep these things shorter, but they're not the same. In fact, if you compare this, and then if you want to, you can click right here for the Republican platform, which I have done. There it is. You'll see that they're identical. And this is a critical point because Trump could have, or other people in the GOP could have, at the convention that was a couple weeks ago, they could have adopted the Heritage Foundation's agenda. They did not. They did not. So if you scroll back to Project 2025, you'll see the three big differences right here. Okay, this is what's got them all scared. Cut the growth of government. Trump's not for that. We all know that. He's a big spender. Make federal agencies more accountable to the democratically elected president and Congress. That means be able to fire public employees. They're horrified by that. Improve education by moving control and funding of education. They know that because that's how they brainwash their folks. Why are they doing this? Well,
Donald Trump is an agent of chaos.
Here's a typical millennial that's been fooled by these people. Let's hear what he has to say about Project 2025.
Donald Trump is an agent of chaos like the far right. He appreciates wars. He appreciates when people don't have access to healthcare. He appreciates fear and fear-mongering and scapegoating undocumented immigrants. Gen Z instead chooses common sense. We choose empathy. Vice President Harris resonates with a lot of those
Anyway,
values.
folks, if I thought any of that, I probably wouldn't vote for Trump either. But he's been brainwashed, and here he is, ready to defeat Trump in Project 2025. But we just established that Trump isn't Project 2025. Why would he think that? Well, the Harris lies, and then they're spending a lot of money on this, folks. This is Google. When was Project 2025 adopted? Now, Google has long since been propaganda. It's not going to, you can't find anything about when I was looking for when the manifesto dropped, 900 pages. Doesn't tell me. But Harris is spending a lot of money, Trump's Project 2025, because it isn't, because she isn't, because she's phony, because it's lies 24/7, 365. Here's Kamala Harris yesterday campaigning. I'm going to finish on this. We're about 10 seconds away from being done. And here's why they have to do it, folks. She's beyond awful. Take a listen. This is her speaking to union folks in Detroit, Michigan yesterday.
Balance. And then the outcome will be fair. And isn't that what we're talking about in this here election?
Now, folks, you are listening to a perfect example of the North Carolina Piedmont accent. 85 splits the state: Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. Okay? Southern accents like this play everywhere. Trust me, I know. But it's genuine. Hers isn't. She's a San Francisco liberal. They don't speak that way. And by the way, did she get with Doc in a DeLorean and go back to the future? In this election here, this here election, nobody talks that way, Kamala. She's not going to win the Sun Belt. She's not going to win the South. I don't think she's going to win the Midwest. All she's got is lies and a bad candidacy, and frankly, a bad imitation of a Southern accent. Folks, if you enjoyed this, please, it really does help content creators out. Like, subscribe, comment, and if you do, you'll see me on the next one.